Hello and welcome back to Shuffle. So we're back playing multiplayer Warband. Yeah, I might do a battalion battle sometime later, but this is my Warband army for the Orcs. As you can see, I have the War Chief in the middle with a retinue of Orc warriors. We have some Goblin Spear Mob just to pad out the army, Goblin Mob again just to pad it out. I could really increase it in size, couldn't I? Not these guys because they're attacking through rows. And I got some Goblin Rough Riders, which is really nice for flanking, and some sturdy Trolls as well. And now, talking about my Lord, I'm pretty sure this unit has a Banner of Mist, so that they don't immediately die. No magical enchantment weapons on the weapon, but I do have a magical item enchantment, which is a Potion of Power, which would really help us grind through the first unit that we come across. Two-handed weapon just for the increased attacks. So we have 4 attacks in total. Yeah, it's quite good in my personal opinion. Quite a strong unit as well. And it's perfect 500 points, 6 out of 6 units. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So yeah, let's go into this multiplayer game. Right then, let's watch this replay and I can commentate about it. Okay, right then, so this is game 1 with the War Chief. And yeah, as you can see, I immediately moved him up to try to get this control point. For some reason, the 2 control points don't appear on the map of the replays, so that's a bit awkward. But yeah, as you can see, I moved up all my units, so this is a bit of a cluster over here. I didn't really like it, but I also didn't want to move into the forest. My enemies started shooting at my War Chief. They tried shooting at the Trolls, which have 5 defense, so it's not a great target to shoot. I kept my Goblin Wolf Riders in the back, just as a reserve, because they're Elf Noble was one of the units that went last, so I was basically kind of keeping myself free in order to basically counteract the Elf Noble for when he comes and attacks me in the side. Because yeah, as you will see later, it didn't really help, but I still got the control points captured. So as you can see, I moved up the wolves, and yeah, unfortunately because of this forest, I couldn't prevent the Elf Noble from attacking me. So what happened here is that the Elf Noble attacked my Trolls from one side, and the Reavers attacked me from the other. And then they also moved up the Elf Spears to kind of prevent me from being able to attack the Elf Noble from behind, because if I did, I would have had to turn and show my side to them. So it was quite a good move. I moved my War Chief up here to deal with the Elf City Guard, but we'll see how that goes later on. As you can see, move up the Goblin Mob to try to protect that. Unlucky, lost 3 wolves over there. Moved up the Goblin Spear Mob behind the Goblin Mob to be able to charge the Elf Noble in the side. They moved their Elf City Guard. Unfortunately, the Elf City Guard were outside of my War Chief's range, so he's not going to be able to charge them. Gonna lose a lot of goblins here, and the Goblin Mob moved the Elf Spear slightly. So as you can see, because of this little gap over here, they could practically charge me if I was up to here, but I just barely out of their charge range for the Elf Spears, so they're going to be attacked by the Goblin Mob, so it's going to be 10 on 10. And then, yeah, as you can see, a big attack from both sides over here, and I still can't do anything about it, really. It's really unfortunate, but there go my Trolls. That was really unlucky. Now, at this point, I'm thinking that I lost the Trolls, but I'm going to get their Elf Noble back because they got cruelty, they got prowess. I know that they spent a bunch of money on this Elf Noble. The Trolls were like 100 points. This all together over here is going to be like 150 points, if not more. So now, if we see, it's the charge phase. So they charge here, but that's perfectly fine because I charge here, I charge the Wolves in, I charge the Elf Noble in the back, I charge the Elf Reavers, and I charge the Elf Spears, these Elf Spears as well. So as you can see, the War Chief is a bit awkward, in an awkward position, so I pop my ability, the War Cry, and that obviously ends up being quite beneficial for me, because, yeah, +1 power on all these people, and unfortunately not attacking with 3 rows of Goblin Mob, but that's perfectly fine. So beat the Elf Spears, they're out. Still got, I think this is being contested right now, so yeah, this is still in our control over here, this control point. So yeah, Elf and Reavers, without these Goblin Spear Mob, this Goblin Spear Mob actually wins against the Elf Noble, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was a win by 1 point, because we got a rear charge. So yeah, we're on to the Elf City Guard against the Wolf Riders. It went kind of okay, but it's not the best. Yeah, it was just, yeah, we didn't rout, but we also didn't get any wounds off on them, or they didn't lose any models. They're trying to so the thing is here, I can't actually move around the Elf City Guard because the Elven Reavers have got a massive range, so they're up to here in terms of range. So I can't exactly move over here to the side and attack the Elf City Guard, otherwise I'm going to get recharged by the Reavers. So what I did, I rallied the Goblin Spear Mob. I moved the War Chief over here to charge the Elf City Guard in the front, while avoiding being charged in the back by the Reavers. The Reavers currently can charge either the Moblin Mob or this Moblin Mob or Goblin Mob over here. And yeah, the bolt thrower is still shooting at me, which is a bit awkward. So yeah, I finally get rid of the Elf Noble. That really gives me a lot of movement range over here. And they're attacking my Wolf Riders, and the Wolf Riders don't actually rout. And I would have really liked for them to rout here, because my War Chief still has got the Potion of Power. And yeah, just really unfortunate circumstances. So there they go, Elven Reavers up front. I lose another 2 models. I'm still capturing this. These Elf Spears come back, but I could just barely charge them with this Goblin Mob. As you can see, I moved the Goblin Spear Mob to attack the back of the Reavers. This Goblin Mob just barely had movement range, turn around slightly. The Wolf Riders finally die, so that means I can finally charge in the War Chief. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I've got these, keep in mind that I've kept this point for like the entire game. This point has either been in my control or has been basically, been neutral. So the enemies have got absolutely no points whatsoever regarding this, and they just surrender at this point, or the game goes to me. And yeah, I win this. I basically win this because there's no way they can come back. I've been basically getting points for all these turns, and yeah, that was my victory. And it was quite fun as well. It was really close, that's for sure. This unit is full, the Bolt Thrower got a lot of value, and the Elven Reavers are full. But yeah, these Elf Spears, they're almost routing off. It's just a bit unfortunate, but I won by points wise, so yep. Let's go into the second game. I'll explain what the army is for the second game as well. So yeah, I'll see you then. Right then, so this is the second army that I got. So as you can see, this time my War Chief is on a Wyvern. He's got quite a few more items. He's got a natural power, which gives him +1 power, +1 defense, helps him in the duels against enemy lords. He got cruelty upon his reroll, and he failed saves, and he's got 200 weapons. Now, unfortunately, there are no upgrades for the Wyvern, so as always, it's going to be really weak. So if you get surrounded, you're just going to die. So really, this is my, my flanking unit. I got the Giant in here, which is really expensive because that Giants are, 100 points. It's a fifth of my army just over here. My Lord is, slightly more than a fifth because of the Wyvern, and I think he's closer to almost 2/3. I got some Goblin Wolf Riders again for some flanking, just in case. Goblin Spear Mob, just to pad it out, and Orc Warriors in the middle with hand weapons and shield, which is just what the unit comes with. This is just to act as a bit of like the front line that can actually deal damage, while the spears just kind of wait and slog down the enemies or bog them down. So that my Lord can run around the back and attack them. So 500 points. So as you can see, so this army of mine is slightly different. I don't know why it's playing from the enemy's perspective, but yeah, this is my army up here. So I got the War Chief Wyvern, I got the Orc Warriors here, not as a retinue, but as a separate unit. I got the Goblin Wolf Riders, and then I got 2 Spear Mobs as well as the Giant. So the Giant did lose 2 wounds immediately. I move up the Goblin Spear Mob. So it's slightly better than last time where I got like all clustered up over here. So yeah, I immediately lose 6 units to Arrow Fire. I move up the Wolf Riders to attack the Bolt Thrower, but then move up the Elf Spears to protect the Bolt Thrower. I move up the Orc Warriors to, because right now there's a control point here and another control point here. So I'm currently capping this one. This one's just out of my range for right now. So yeah, they move the Elven Reavers up, shoot my Goblin Mob. They're still not capturing this control point here. I got my Orc Warriors just coming here just in case they have to deal with the Lord or something like that. So they're going to be a bit of a hold down type of unit to keep this flank together. I move up the Giant. Now the Giant is in fact within the circle. So I'm pretty sure I'm capping the circle at this point. And yeah, I got an opportunity to attack the Reavers here and the Elf City Guard here. So let's see, they move up their Lord over here, and I immediately counter that by moving over here outside of the Elf Spear's charge range, but my Lord on a Wyvern can in fact attack their Bolt Thrower. So yeah, this is why Lords on mounts are so good, because they can immediately go for siege equipment. That's very nice. This is second turn, so let's see, they charge my Giant with City Guard and Reavers. They don't really have anything to buff them up, so the fact that the Giant has 6 defense is going to really come at their detriment over here. I charge the Bolt Thrower from the front, so we'll see. Charge the wolves just because I can use war cry, so it doesn't show right now, but the wolves do in fact have war cry, and so does the giant. Move up the orc warriors to kind of cap this control point over here. Well, continue capping it and kind of prevent the enemies from being able to capture it. The enemies move their noble back. I don't know what they're doing right now. So yeah, as you can see here, my giant is quite fine over here. Lost 3 wounds. The enemies lost 3 models here, and it was they saved the morale check because yeah, he has 9 discipline. So they only won by 1 point, and that was not because of damage. That was simply because of the flank. So I move up these goblin spears to flank the Elf City Guard. I'm attacking this bolt throw over here. A bit unlucky, they don't vout, but yeah, yeah, that's perfectly fine. And then I'm attacking them over here. The wolf riders do quite well. I think that they win this, but the enemies don't vout. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for me. Charging this goblin spear mob over here. Get this goblin spear mob to try to attack the reavers next turn. Move up the orc warriors to attack the elf spears in the side. The enemies are probably trying to either charge my war chief or my goblin wolf riders. So yeah, you have to bear in mind that this point is now contested. This point is under my control over here. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm winning this side. The reavers immediately rout. Bit unlucky on them. I'll check a 4 and a 5 and a 4 and a 6. That's a 10 right there. So yeah, the Elf City Guard survived that, even though they're the ones being attacked. Yep, there goes the bolt thrower. And let's see what they do. And yeah, and then I'm attacking over here with the wolf riders. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the wolf riders are out. It's a bit unfortunate, but it's perfectly fine. I charge in the orc warriors. This is a bit of a fight between the nobles. Yeah, all the lords. So yeah, the Elf City Guard really can't survive there. 13 goblin spears attacking, plus the 5 attacks from the giant. Even though it's like below half health, because there's no sundering mechanic, the giant can in fact keep all his attacks. Like, first thing that needs to happen is there to be a sundering mechanic in this game, because it's a bit ridiculous. Even I have to admit that single entities are a bit strong right now. So yeah, there he goes, 1 wound. And yeah, orc warriors doing quite well over here. Quite strong. Even though they got poor skill, once the attacks land, they do quite well. This is a bit of a... I'm pretty sure I lose here. So yeah, I get a few unlucky rolls. As you can see, the enemies have full health over here, but I completely rout. Yeah, charge in with my orc warriors. Because you can't upgrade your griffin, basically you can't upgrade the mounts. Because of that, the griffin isn't going to have a fun time against the orc warriors. So move up the goblin spear to hopefully deal with these elf spears. Try to move the giant round the back to maybe get a back charge on the griffin. Currently the griffin is still out of range because the giant doesn't have that big of a charge range. It's like around here. So this goblin spear mob is just on the cap circle. Brought back some of the wolf riders in the cap circle. Brought back the chieftain as well. Let's see how this goes. And yeah, really, I don't see how the enemies can come back from this. This is even worse than last time because, yeah, we have so many goblin spear mob and everything. And yeah, it's just not looking good for the enemies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where they basically lose the game. Because I've had this cap circle for the entire game, and the other one has been basically uncontested. So they weren't getting any points from this, and I was getting 50 points from this one. And they just can't come back after this. And that's the end of this game. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. And let me know if you like my commentary